guys, let's talk about books. So today we're talking books, and I am talking about Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. I had this recommended by so many people, and what's interesting is I was really surprised to find out that it's actually a young adult fiction book or a youth fiction book, because everyone that recommended it to me was actually an adult. And not like a young adult, like an adult, like old, like me. So I was really surprised whenever I had put this on reserve at the library, and when it came in, that it was young adult. So I was a little apprehensive at first, but it is so good that now I am taking the recommendations I was given and I'm sharing them with you as well. I don't want to tell you too much about the whole plot line, because as usual with a book, if you find out too much, then you might as well not read the book. It's kind of like whenever movie previews essentially show you the entire movie, then there's no point in seeing the movie. So I don't want to spoil it for you, but I want to give you a few tidbits just to whet your appetite. My eye is watering like crazy town. And now my nose is watering. Okay. So the main character in The Graveyard Book is a little boy named Bod. And Bod is a nickname short for nobody. He is a child that was raised in a graveyard, but he is alive. So he's a live human raised in a graveyard by the people of the graveyard, let's just say, the spirits and all of the different bodies that live in the graveyard. And so it's really neat, and the story is all about his adventures with all of these different kinds of people and creatures and spirits, and it has a little bit of an eerie quality to it, which was surprising to me, first of all, that I liked it, but second of all, it was just surprising because it's a youth book. I wouldn't want my 8-year-old to read this because she would get a little bit afraid at this point, but I am going to recommend it to my teenagers. I think they will really, really like it. But the eerie quality didn't surprise me at all once I realized that Neil Gaiman was also the author of Coraline, which, you know, for someone like me who mainly reads nonfiction, adult, I like to learn stuff whenever I read, so I usually steer pretty clear of fiction stuff. But one time, whenever I was at an airport, I picked up Coraline from a bookstore that was there at the airport because I had a long layover. It turned out I didn't have a book with me. I didn't have anything to do. It was before we had all the cell phone stuff that had everything known to man on it. And so I was bored, so I picked up a book, and I read Coraline on that airplane front to back and loved it. So it also had a real eerie quality to it, but short of that, in this one, I don't read a whole lot of fiction, period, but much less, especially not youth fiction, and now I have read 2 books almost on accident by the same author. So I recommend The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, and as well as Coraline. In addition to the really cool writing in this book are the illustrations, and even though it is a young adult book, it has illustrations that are so well done. The illustrations are by Dave McKean, and they're just fabulous, and they really add to the high caliber of the book, I think. Just really neat pen work. And just beautiful artwork throughout that just adds to that eerie darkness of the book in general. So there you have it. Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book. I recommend it. It is one that you can pick up and just read and read and read, and it's such an intriguing story, and just this concept of this human boy being raised in a graveyard and all that entails is so intriguing to me that I really enjoyed it, just from the nuance of the story as much as anything else. And I tell you what, Neil Gaiman would be one of those authors that I would love to meet in person and be able to pick his brain. I bet he's such an interesting person to just speak to, considering all the different projects that he's had his hands in and what he has written and the kinds of tales that come out of his mind. So pick it up if you are looking for a book, and I hope that you enjoy this Wordiful Wednesday. Until I see you again, I hope you're making it a great day.